know how to make beans. Not just beans, but also lentils. I'm going to put those in the same category, though cooking them is pretty different. But let's start with beans. Beans, the wonderful food. I love them so much. I could eat beans. No, not I could. I do eat beans every single day. And if you have any issue digesting beans, that means you're not eating enough. So just FYI, side note. So a lot of people are intimidated when it comes to cooking beans, but they're actually incredibly easy to cook. The first thing you need to make sure is you soak them overnight. It's easy to soak. I mean, just put them in a bowl, cover them with water, go to sleep. Next morning, they're ready for you to cook. Or if you don't do it overnight, do it in the morning and you can cook them in the evening. Give them at least 6 to 8 hours of soaking time. That helps them cook more quickly, and it also makes them more easily digestible and breaks down any of the nutrient inhibitors that beans naturally have. Okay, how do you cook beans? Now that I have and am in love with my Instant Pots, I cook my beans in the Instant Pot. It's a lot faster than cooking them on the stove, and I don't have to worry about are they boiling over or turning down the heat or any of that. Put them in the Instant Pot, forget about it. I typically cook my beans in the Instant Pot for about 35 minutes. It is so easy. If you end up cooking your beans on the stove, however, it tends to usually take between 45 minutes to an hour. Different beans have different cook times. If you guys have my cookbook, there is a chart in there sharing different cook times for beans, also soak times as well. So if you ever have a question about how long should I be cooking this bean for, open up the cookbook and check that out. And another way to know if your beans are done is just to taste them and see if they're nice and tender. I typically don't cook my beans solo without any seasoning. I like to saute onion and garlic first, put the beans in there, and add other seasonings as well, like oregano. Sometimes I do thyme and basil. Of course, salt and pepper as well. And you could also make a full bean dish. I'm gonna link to some of my favorite bean recipes down below, like my red beans and rice. I have a recipe for that here on YouTube, and my black eyed peas. I am from the South, so those are my two favorite bean recipes in the whole world, and I eat them as much as possible. And you'll see how easy they really are to make, and you don't have to be intimidated by beans. Little side note, lentils are a lot easier to cook. You don't have to soak them overnight. You can still make them in your Instant Pot or on the stove. It's easy both ways. And lentils are also wonderful to have as like lentil soup. You can put them in salads. You can have them in Buddha bowls. Lentils all around. We all should probably be eating also more of those. They're super high in protein, fiber, all the good stuff. I love lentils. I love them so much.